Safe to say is it safe to say you're at the mercy of your daily COVID testing? I mean, I'm assuming Sunday's match is still on, but come Friday, negative testing could ruin the weekend. Is that how things are going now, and how do you deal with that uncertainty?
Yeah. I think we're obviously we're planning on wrestling on Sunday, but yeah, we're at the mercy of the test. But I think hopefully we've gotten through the worst of it now. As we start to get our student athletes back. But yeah, I mean, at any time, any program under the rules could be closed down. It's a pretty low. It's like 7.5%. If you have a 7.5% positivity rate, then you're out. So when you have a small roster, it's not difficult to get to that number.
Pete Terpstra?
Hey, Coach. This is a little out of the box. So wrestling and coaches talk a lot about mental toughness. I feel like that's always associated with, harder workouts and keeping your weight down and, kind of grind of a wrestling season. But what does it do for these guys mentally when they're gearing up, getting ready to start the season, and then it just has to be paused before it even starts?
Yeah, I think it's part of mental toughness is just being able to stay focused on your goals, right? Regardless of obstacles or any fog or whatever adversity might appear. Just staying focused on your goals, keep moving towards them, not being willing to get distracted or frustrated. I don't think it's a huge or surprise to have. Obviously we didn't really have many cases just in the fall and into November, December. But we chose to have the team go home for the holidays, and that clearly that wasn't a good idea as far as keeping COVID out of the room. But I still think being able to spend the holidays with your family is worth it. But we just have to just do the best that we can and just kind of keep moving forward. But yeah, like you said, I mean, mental toughness, I think it's just being able to just the grit and the determination of being clear on what you want and regardless of what obstacles appear, because usually obstacles don't appear in the form that you would expect. I mean, that's why they're obstacles, right? I guess so. Just staying focused and more than anything, just staying grateful for these opportunities because they're going to come and we'll be ready when the time is here, and it's here now. So,
Hi, Sauertig.
Hi, Cael. One of the guys you talked a lot about last week was Greg Kirkland and how he came along in the offseason. First off, is he somebody that people can expect to see in the lineup this week against Michigan State? And we've seen more of him in freestyle. How does his mat wrestling stack up at this level?
Yeah, he's just a great wrestler. He's a tough competitor. He loves to compete. Obviously, a tremendous athlete. And, we're not sure whether we'll see him this weekend or not, or when we'll see or anybody. I'm not going to really talk about individuals and get into that stuff. But yeah, I mean, he's a competitor. He's a great kid. He loves the sport, loves to learn. Obviously, if you've watched him compete or if you've watched any of the matches that we had in this this past 4 months, he's an impressive character. So yeah, we're excited about him and his potential for sure.
Andy Elder.
Hey, Cael, how are you?
Hey.
So with all the precautions you've had to take with COVID, have you had to alter your practice schedule or separate guys at certain weights or starters so that you don't have the same group together and run the risk of having one weight or a group of starters contract the virus in case an outbreak would hit?
Yeah, I think we've had multiple practices throughout the beginning of the outbreak when we were able to come back and start training even in the club. Those are things that we have to consider when we're setting up and matching partners and who and we just our trainers and the doctors and medical staff have made some nice suggestions just on not having two people that haven't tested positive together, right? Just because even the rate and the chance of getting COVID for a second time is very small, and so just kind of keeping some of those things in mind and doing the best that we can. Um, but at the same time, we don't want to just overthink everything and we just want to get in there and train and compete and I think we'll figure it out as we go along here. But it's just one of those situations where if you think you can plan everything out perfectly and everything's going just fine and great and dandy, and then maybe it isn't. So we're just going to remain grateful and just look forward to being able to compete this weekend on Sunday.
And Surface.
Hey, Cael. You had your obstacles last week with the whole COVID issue. Who are some of the leaders that you've seen step up and kind of take charge of the situation, and how have they done so?
Yeah, it's a tricky situation just in the amount of time a positive test requires to get back. Big Ten is 17 days, so when your season's 2 months, that's a decent chunk of it. And but yeah, I think we've had some great leadership, and I think it's been a lot of the leadership is just outside of the room, right, and just making sure that these guys are doing the right things and they're following the rules as the best that they can, right? But we have guys that are really doing a good job in the training and the energy that they're bringing to the practice every day. Guys like Roman, who you'll hear from later, has done a great job just in just the way he's competing and training and his excitement. We have just the usual guys. I'd say Nick Lee has been a great leader. Aaron Brooks, Carter Strock, he's really stepping up as a leader, as a guy that's really setting the example, or one of the guys setting the example as far as work ethic and mindset. So this will be as we get going here. I think this will be a great year and a great opportunity for these kids to really step up as leaders and just just the things we've already been talking about, some of this adversity and not being able to wrestle and we've been preparing to wrestle for a long time, as somebody stated, and then find out a few days before we're not. That's it's just staying focused, and that's where we need that leadership, and these guys will have that opportunity to do that as we get going here.